This is Main Art. Thanks for checking out my channel. Today we'll be doing some charcoal and pastel of the werewolf. So let's see how this comes out. I'm gonna just get right in, and I'm gonna try to start to shape really easily. Just kind of shape, possibly, let's say, the cheek side, cheeks on each side. This is just doing a nice, just circle here, possibly into the nose. Kind of come through here. We'd have our eyes in this section, almost a little lion-like, right now. It's early, though. And then we're going to have kind of some heavy brows coming up that way. I'm just doing a very, very loose shape here, this face. So you can see it's not much, but we'll see where it takes us into, let's call it the mouth. So let's make this dude gnarly, like pretty wild. Up here, maybe come down like that. All right, something, yeah, really, really cool. All right. So you can see that's really all we did so far, which is, it's not too bad. Let me just zoom out a sec so we can see more space. And from here, as you'll see, I'm gonna just kind of go in with our black charcoal and let's just see what we can do to really start accentuating this. The nice thing about this is really just no right or wrong. You just want to have fun with it, as long as you're kind of creating, coming up with your own style, drawing. That's all that matters. So we'll see what comes out here. So I'm just going to start pretty sloppy, but that's all right. To the nose. Now I know with these, you start really getting these kind of lines, shapes coming in from off the nose. Really starts getting crazy. Just going to start some light shading. And a lot of it just using our finger for a nice blend. As you can see, and that's usually been my style, just getting a nice blend in there. And I know there's a lot of different versions out there. We're just going to see where it goes, what it looks like. It may end up being more something different, but that's the beauty of getting in, even if it's kind of the more horror art. We're not worried about symmetry or anything like that. We just want to get something that's cool looking, might scare your friends a little bit. That's all right. All right, so that's where we're at here. I'm gonna start working in some of these kind of jowls, this whole section. This thing is gonna be pretty, making an intense grin, that kind of stuff. Cuts through like that. Yeah, and I'm just gonna run these lines wild, it's always cool to do. Who knows, that might even become some of the hair later. Just gonna add a little bit more in here, kind of get those lines set. All right, so you can see we're starting to get some structure here. It's not perfect, but that's all right. Add a little bit up here. Something kind of get some of this forehead looking. We'll get back in a little bit. That forehead section, you could kind of darken it out a little bit above the eyes. Just fade that back. It's a cool effect. Fade that back. All right, so we'll definitely come back to that. Add some cuts in here. In whatever medium you like, you know, you could use some of these similar format, template, whatever you want to call it. Kind of make something unique. So there, we're at this point. Now, let's see. I'm going to start adding in a little bit more here. Nose, keep that wet. Now let's really start getting into that mouth. You know, that's where there's a lot of creepy stuff we could do, a lot of scary stuff. This thing is, you know, the beast of the night. So I'm going over pretty loose here, not really showing much of the lips. They're pretty going to be tight, so I might just get something in here like that. Kind of cut that back. And this is just going to be kind of stretching it out more there. Now at this point, I'm going to just start taking a little bit of liberty where, you know, kind of the gum line and stuff like that. I don't know the exact symmetry of the teeth or anything, what that looks like, but I'm going to just pull that slightly down like that. Down here. Give a little bit of this like bottom lip down here. Darken that. Use some lines. And I guess being it's the werewolf, so I guess it did morph into a you know, from a kind of person to this. So now at this point, let's see what we can do here. Let's get some really gnarly looking stuff. Say this is the gum line coming out. Really working that in. And then for us, maybe right here, something nasty, gnarly right there. This side, let's pull that through. These gums, I'm just gonna add some dark, some black. So you can see it, nothing's perfect here. It's just as we add our lines, gives it a little bit more depth and dimension. That's all we're really doing here with the charcoal. Yeah, so I mean, it gives it. Let me even extend this guy out here. Okay, so yeah, so we got something pretty heavy there. And these little inside gums, I'm just gonna add some sharp inner things here. All right, so we got definitely some cool stuff happening. Same with the bottom. Let's say we get some gum lines coming out. It's gonna be maybe even see a little bit more down here. Might be a lighter too. So we'll get in some smaller teeth. All right, so yeah, this thing is definitely crazy looking so far. And yeah, in my other videos, I know I've said it a couple times, you know, this is why I love pastel and charcoal, because they work so nicely together. There's no right or, you know, you could just blend it like that, then we can go back over it and just enhance it. So they're just really, really cool working together. Um, really cool. All right, so I like so far the teeth. I might add a little bit extra in here, just kind of hooking some around, nice and neat. Get this thing even crazier. Yeah, so yeah, very cool, very cool where we're at. Okay, gonna just come in and add a little bit more, some of these cuts, kind of extend that out a little bit, extend this eye out. Just gonna pull that back, just some nice shading. That's all that, just pull that back, just lines. And then we blend. Just lines and blend. It's a nice little quick effect. All right. So at this point, start adding in some extra lines, some cuts. All right. Might just kind of get back in here, make it even a little extra, what are they, kind of grisly, just choppy, you know, grisly, choppy. All right, cool, cool. Yeah. Here, we're going to just kind of come in and accentuate with our white. Couple areas. That's always cool. I like that. Really like using the white. Gets a little bit up here. This thing might have some extra teeth going on. That's all right. All right. So looking good. So from here, let's just maybe I'm gonna just start adding some additional jawline feature here, kind of going up that way. All right. And then we did make these jowls and stuff pretty big, so I'm gonna just kind of start throwing in some lines, like some sinew. You could see in my other videos, like this is something I always like to do. Just kind of, it's a cool effect. Whether it's, you know, is it kind of skin? Is it, you know, the salivas or something, you know, something like that? Definitely gives it a cool looking effect. And of course, what that entail can do is definitely give us some, maybe the blood or the drool, that kind of look. Maybe it's going to be something like this, coming down. You know, I've seen that before a couple times. You don't want to go too crazy, but so yeah, it's definitely really wild looking. Okay, so at this point, I think we're going to be ready for getting into some of that hair structure, right? I'm going to just take a quick look here. Maybe what is this here? That's a gray, right? That could work. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just start doing that. Just getting in and just let's just rock this, kind of push this thing out. And it's gonna just be crazy looking. Come in like that, but then I'm gonna even take it a little bit further. And then let's really kind of get in there, kind of wolf-like. Okay, then even take it to the next level, and let's see if we can really get some of this extension in here. The black charcoal. All we're doing here is just pretty much lines. That's all that is just kicking those lines out. Going back over it. So it starts to give it a pretty crazy looking thing. You know, maybe darken in here, darken up this this underneath section, and just pull that in. Stay with our cuts here. And again, you know, we're just going fast. We're just kind of having fun and seeing where it takes us so far. But yeah, so we're just gonna continue with this. Yeah, and let's see what we got here. We could even do our same thing, and let's just pull it from even pull some out this way too, which is kind of cool. Just gonna kick that out. Same idea, right? Just get our lines in there. All right, then we'll just go back in with our black. I know I had the drool thing kind of going, but let's kick this out with just some gnarly looking wild hair. Coming off, say, the chin, all down here. So it's definitely starting to look a little messy, but ultimately that's what we got. You know, and we could even kick out some different things off the face. this side. So the hair is always something. There's a lot of techniques out there that you can do to get that really realistic kind of look. For me, I'm kind of just going with this line structure, you know, which is dark, dark, dark to light, real quick, but it still would give you your effect. Just run this wild. All right, so we got a long way so far here. So I'm gonna just see if I can do some finishing touches and then see where we go from there. So we got a couple options for our eyes. We could go the traditional yellow black, see what that looks like. I might take it a step further. Got our yellow black, let's just cut them. Down the middle. You know, a little more on this side. Then I might just take it a quick step further. You might see in my other videos too, I like to get in some, that really accentuates these darker like purples and stuff. That gives it a cool look, and then just kind of come in, maybe even with an orange, just kind of just like. Yeah, so that makes it pretty weird looking. Even come back with our charcoal again, just to kind of get some contour in there, some slight contour underneath here. Yeah, so that's definitely come a long way, a lot of different things. So just gonna add some more of this heavier texture in there, kick that out. Yeah, definitely weird. And then one last final thing I'm gonna do, and then you've probably seen this too on some of my others, just kind of come in and like to give maybe just an orange kind of glow inside, which is another interesting level. Maybe we'll do today, maybe we'll do kind of an orange yellowy feel. That could be cool. Again, it's just having fun. That's it. You know, it's no right. Just whatever it takes you, wherever it takes you is what you want. You know, wherever it takes you, you just kind of go with the flow and just fall into it. Um, of course, you know, we'll just have to go back over our lines to really make them pop for one final move for our teeth. Again, that really nice feature with the charcoal and pastel combination. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you. This is the werewolf. If you like this kind of stuff, please check out my other videos. Please subscribe or like. Really appreciate that. I'm just starting out here, so just trying to have some fun and see where it takes me. But thank you, and you have a great day. This is main art.